of a sudden you're like, it's in the wall. And you're up on the wall like a monkey, kicking the thing and digging it with a stick. And then you throw this giant chunk of pure black CHERT flint at me. And I'm like, what? Trip and hope to do some fishing today, but right now I'm checking out a location that might have CHERT and flint that I could use to make some stone tools. So I just came on this trail here past these really huge cliffs, and there is some CHERT up here, small pieces. That piece isn't so good. Looks like there's just a little bit right in this area. Little tiny things. Gray. Cool. Check this out. See the little shells?
I'm just going to push this a little bit further and let's see what's down here before we head out. Tiny bits of CHERT in the gravel, and this is a crazy gorge. That is awesome. Not really seeing too much CHERT at all. Just some mixed in with the gravel and out of reach. Thanks.
So I was looking at the stuff that was right here.
Yep.
And somebody's recently been hitting on this. There's copper mark right there. I don't know if you could see it. Somebody's been hitting this with a copper rod. There's a few pieces, but I don't really see where it's coming from. But there is flint here. I mean, somebody was whacking it recently. But it should look like that. It's probably over there somewhere. But there's crazy cliffs right here.
Oh my god, the chipmunk.
Chipmunk almost fell.
Oh my god, the chipmunk.
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 Chipmunk. Almost fell.
Whoa, dude, be careful.
He's hyperventilating. You see
I
him?
bet he is. You're okay, dude.
Come on.
Here, let me get out of your way. No,
No,
don't go.
no,
Don't go that way. Oh my god, he jumped again.
Where is he? Is he okay? Get on the freaking ground, dude. So that cliff is like straight down for hundreds of feet. Where that chipmunk almost fell. Maybe you could see right here. There's rock face going straight down. Here's more. This is just laying in the trail here. So I need to correct something. Usually I say CHERT because that's the correct term for this stuff. But for the video, I'm gonna say flint so that the algorithm picks up that looking for flint. but it's chert.
But it's flint. But it's chert. But it's flint. But it's chert.
Just because I get so many comments saying it's not flint, it's chert. It's like, I know. So right here, there's a dip in the ground, and there is a line of chert outcrops this way. So this might be an old quarry pit. Looks very similar to the ones at Flint Ridge State Park, where they're dipped in the ground like that, where they were trying to pull out the flint. I don't know though. I don't see any leftover rock, but that's really interesting to me. Alright, so didn't find too much down here. Not really seeing an outcrop or anything. I walked down that way some, and it's just shale limestone. That way is a dead end, and I'm not seeing it. So I think I'm just gonna head back to where I was camping. Still just relaxing. I haven't started the Flint trip yet. But yeah, if somebody's watching and they nap this stuff in here, let me know where it is exactly. It's probably in that brush. But yeah, let me know. I found one more piece of flint in that thing. Alright, so we saw Crazy Gorge back that way, right there, and some huge cliffs. Saw a chipmunk almost fall, and I guess that's it for here. Nope. So it's a year later, and that anarchist heron is still here. He still doesn't give a crud about human rules. There's an anarchist beaver there too. Yeah, I've learned my lesson about sticking my head in caves in the middle of nowhere. I was reading some of the pamphlets on what to do if the bear is aggressive. The thing it said was, don't toss it food. This will create future problems. I'm pretty sure if you're being mauled by a bear, you're not going to be concerned about causing future problems. I'm not an expert on bears, but I'm pretty sure that if a bear attacked me and I had a banana in my hand, I would throw the banana. I'm just kidding. I don't want to read in the newspaper that somebody threw a bear at a banana and got murdered. Throw a banana at a bear and got and got murdered. Don't throw a bear at a banana. That won't. Do we have bananas? And they actually closed the whole lake with electric storm warnings. They told everybody to take shelter. So I was like, screw that, I'm gonna go look for Flint at the creek. So we're at the creek. You can see it from here.
How about this thing? Is that limestone?
Limestone. Right, I remember it was just like this here.
Yeah, just in the cobbles.
Yeah.
Some. Have you tried did you crack into this?
No, I'll try it. Need a hammerstone though.
Hammerstone. Hammerstone. Little guy? There you go. There you go.
This is like concrete. I can feel it's like concrete.
How do you know where to approach, like, to get in?
Look for something that's hanging off and see if you could knock that off. I don't think I'm going to be able to on this because it's just...
It looks very dense.
I mean, it's concrete. Let's split the hammerstone. Look what it's doing to it. Called it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Not worth it? No.
It's just such a small vein going through it. The rest of the rock is impossible. So in this big rock here, the light gray is limestone. You can see those little nodules sticking out, the shiny ones. That's flint. So there's two veins in that limestone. One is darker, it's very weathered, and the other one is actually not good flint at all. The lighter, dull color, it's very dull. See how the black is shinier than the gray? The black is better than the gray. If you see the really dull flint, it's not so great. So on my previous flint trip, this is one of the first places I stopped where I found the Esopus. And one of the things I wanted to say about this is if you revisit a place like a creek or a river or anywhere that's moving water, it's constantly turning over rocks and moving things downstream. So it's always going to be different every time you come back. So it's just always worth, wherever you're at, if you see some in a river, keep checking back. More gets brought downstream and rolled over, and it's always changing. So. It'd be harder to see with this mud on top of everything.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to find some stuff here. I mean, I found a little bit small, and the lightning's starting to come in, so I'm gonna get out of here. Let's see how long the storm lasts. Maybe we could get back out today for a little bit. But I'm not seeing a whole lot here. I mean, it's really tiny to begin with. There's the rain. Look at that cloud. So the weather can't really decide what the heck it's doing. So I brought my rod down here. I'm in a different creek. It's gonna just try fishing a little bit. Maybe look for some stuff along here. Got one. Got fish. Little guy. What is it? Little smallmouth? Okay.
Let's chart over here. Yes. And this.
Okay.
Not sure. There's more. Huh. So that's some. There's some. There's some.
It's nice out even though it's drizzling.
And the rain is back. Here it comes. It's just tumbling out into this riverbed. Here comes two more.
Out of the wall here.
Yeah. I don't know if I can get up there. Alright, here it comes.
Pretty big. Let's take that piece. You okay up there?
I'm good.
Can you get down? You good?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Show off your prize. Looks pretty good. Looks good to me.
Yeah, I knew this one was supposed to be a good one.
Good job, Leah. Look at that. Look at that. That's flint. Not sure what kind of flint. Huh. Cool. Good job. You did it.
I'm a mess.
Yep, that's flint.
Seems pretty hard.
It's tough flint, but it's flint.
Found a good
piece.
few pieces, I think.
That's also flint. This is definitely flint. I'm not going to test that. Yep, flint.
Oh wow. I mean, it's got some damage in there, but...
Yeah. Take that. So, we'll take these then. These two are a no-go. Look at that. Still haven't started the flint trip yet.
Caught 2 fish.
Yeah.
Caught some flint.
Try a little more.
While he's fishing, I'm gonna keep looking. It's like a treasure hunt. It's gonna be hard to see anything because it's all covered in mud. Can't tell if it's limestone. So that was not chert, but this looks like it might be. Let's take a look. Looks cherty. It's pretty smooth. It's a big old maybe. Probably. I'm looking. Not really seeing too many things. A lot of limestone. That's about it. It's a really pretty creek bed though. So, I'm gonna go a little bit further, and if I see anything good, I'll let you know. Man, it is peaceful here. So how you doing?
Got a few more little nibbles, but nothing's really biting anymore. Really pretty though. Sun came out. What kind is that? The same kind? Did you test it?
No. That is for you to test.
Okay. I'll test it. Test this piece Leah found. I do not know. It looks like the other stuff, but it's hard to tell when it's this color. Flint. Black flint. Look at that. Leah found awesome flint. Good job, Leah.
Right.
Oh man, look at that.
It's a good flake.
It's a little knife. Cool.
It's so pretty here.
I'll put this in with the others. Look at that though, jeez. What is this? Smells like mud. There you go. There's even a rainbow here with a bird flying past it. I really love this place. Wow. My hook got snagged. I lost it, so I'm gonna head out of here, but we found one more piece of chert here. Let's see, I'll show you. Come on. Wow. It's definitely chert. She's tough. There we go. Cool. All right, heading out. Book where Dennis Stanford butchered the elephant with stone tools. Not sure yet though, but I think it is.
Is that where they were trying to test out the stone tools to see how they worked on mammoth?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were using an elephant instead of a mammoth. So I'm looking in this book here, and it's showing end scrapers, which are, they were used to scrape wood, bone, and hides. Now, I used in my chipmunk skinning video to turn a chipmunk into a fur. I used a small one on the chipmunk too, to scrape the fat off and to make sure that there's nothing that will rot on the skin before you tan it. I've not made one of these on camera yet. I would like to film making an end scraper. You know, usually I do the arrowheads and the spear points, but I would like to get into the other stone tools and the other primitive technologies that was used by people for 12,000, 13,000 years.
So you mentioned experimental archaeology, which is what they were doing when they cut up the elephant using stone tools.
Mm-hmm.
And why would they do that?
When you do an experimental archaeology, you're experimenting and trying to find out what these, because when you find these tools, all that you find is the stone. You don't find what was connected to the stone. You don't find, most of the time, especially in the Northeast, you don't find what the stone was used on. So in experimental archaeology, you're trying to figure out how the stone tool was used in history. So I know an archaeologist who does use-wear analysis, and if you look on here, you see these edges here that are napped, they are flaked. You'd say, so they took an antler and touched that all up to sharpen it. Now the use-wear analysis shows where it was used and dulled. Like how when I use my stone knives on video, they get dull. You could see where it dulled on the tool, and that helps determine like what it was used for. You could tell if it was used on bone or wood or on meat, because a meat or a hide will polish the edge, whereas a bone will crush the edge really bad, and the wood will just add more chipping and dull it. So I think since I found such a small piece of flint at the creek before, that maybe I will show how to make an end scraper. It'll look like that. So stick around after we're done eating, and I'm gonna go fishing a little bit. I'm gonna drag her down to the lake. I gotta go to the lake. After that, I think I'm gonna make one of these. It's an end scraper. Now, on archaeological sites, especially Paleoindians, these were really abundant, and they really needed these to work, to shape their tools, to make their clothes and their hides, like heavy jackets and whatever they needed to survive the Ice Age, was super important. It's like a multi-tool. So I'm going to show you how to make that, I think. So stick around. After I fish, I'm going to show you how to make a scraper. That's good. Okay. Fishing. I'm going to just try to fish for a little bit and take it easy. See if I catch anything. So one of the things about this lake is it's crystal clear. The other thing about this is when the sun is above, just coming straight down, this water is bright blue. Looked like somebody photoshopped a ridiculous colored blue on the lake. She's recording underwater shots. There's a rainbow trout down there apparently. I'm not getting any bites, surprisingly, but I'm enjoying it. She's pretty far out and it's shallow, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get something.
That was awesome. Check out the sunset.
Not even a nibble. and some pake chunky salsa. Pake chunky salsa. Learned this from West Trout. It'll take a minute to ignite. Check out that chip. Looks like it burned for a while. They're good fire starters.
Is that because of the oil?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. So I didn't have the tent cover on, and it started raining, and it hit me right on the back of my neck and my back while I was sleeping, and it freaked me out. That was freezing cold rain. So I started yelling to Leah, "Get the thing! Get the thing!" And she just started freaking out and screaming. She went, "Ah! What? Ah!" Like that. But I think I yelled pretty loud. Okay, I'm going back to sleep. Good night. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm fishing stuff. I'm gonna try to catch something before Leah wakes up. I like getting up early because there's usually absolutely nobody at the water. Hopefully I'll get something. A little bit wavy today. No, still no luck in here. Guess I'll try the, there's a creek around the corner behind me. And then there's another pond over there that I'm gonna try. I think I would catch anything. Check this guy out. Man, there he is. Alright, gonna toss him back. That's pretty cool. I caught him right in here on that bridge. Cool. First fish. Tiny guy. First fish. Yeah. Last night, I talked about making an end scraper today. So I'm going to show you how I do that. If you're into primitive technology, primitive skill, you're definitely going to want to know how to make one of these. One of the things you want is a pretty thick piece of flint, because your end scraper has to be a very thick flake with steep edges. So I got this yesterday while I was looking around for flint. And this is a good piece because how flat this is, it'll make it easier. If I hit in right here, I should be able to get this whole flake off. So what you want to do is support this really strong, squeeze. And you find a ledge that's going to provide a very steep, thick flake. What I'm going to have to do is just break off these corners, and it should be about that wide. Try to be very gentle. Just to shape the back end. So what I was just doing was shaping the bottom end, because the back end is usually thin and then with that steep ridge at the top. Now if you compare here, it's getting pretty close. So I'm just thinning this a little. I use a indirect method. Alright, so now we got the basic shape. Take an antler and push in and flake down. How I pop the flake off there. And then they would do the next one. All the way across. I put those flakes across is a flat edge. That's what you want. Now it's sharp. So we took this flake off here. You could see where it met up. And that's kind of the angle you're looking for when you make these. When it peels up like that, you have that working edge for the hide scraping. You could use it on wood, you could use it on bone, you could use it on hides. These were one of the most important pieces of a Paleoindian toolkit from 12,000, 11,000 years ago. You might think it looks very unassuming and small, but this is one of their most important tools. This is how they kept themselves warm. This is how they made their clothes. This is how they shaped their tools. And this is called a end scraper. So thanks for sticking around, watching us create this primitive survival tool. This is definitely flint. And that is good flint. Very, very cool. The whole pile right here. That is shocking. Alright, I'm going to keep looking around. So all of this right here is flint, but it's very, very tough flint. Cool. Let's test this piece. Just for the heck of it. That is good flint for sure. Cool, cool, cool. Looking at this big chunk here, I don't know how the quality is, but it seems pretty big. It looks like it goes down pretty deep, and I don't have any digging tools with me. That is flint. Wow. Let's test right here. Look at that. Success. Randomly found flint. This time just in the woods. This is a good 50-pound block here. And a worm.
No, it's a salamander.
Is it? That's a salamander?
You see him?
Oh, I didn't mean to mess with your house, dude. Alright, he's crawling back into the wall. Cool. to do is try to find a place on here that I could hit and start taking flakes off. The way I knew this was flint was the smoothness of it and just seeing some pieces that fractured off. So we'll get started on this. We'll give it a try. I have a few in case it fails. What we're going to do is we're just going to hit on these edges like this. That by itself could be an arrowhead. Alright, so we took off this mass right here. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep trying to thin it. Keep these. Could sharpen them up, use them. It's getting thinner and thinner. Now this stuff is not glassy. I think it's a New York chert that they blast away in the limestone. I'll keep working at it. So I'm going to flip it over now on this edge and get to the lower points to take flakes off this side now. We were taking flakes off that side. There we go. We'll keep that. Shape it down a little bit. So now we got a biface, just about. Have to thin the base. And to do that, I'm going to grind down on all sides, just to strengthen the edges a little bit so that when you hit them, they don't just turn to dust. If you grind them like this, it makes them a little stronger. Probably start down at the bottom when I do this. Alright. I'm gonna do indirect under the knee. Alright. So we're gonna rest this on the edge and hit with an antler. I'm gonna use a moose antler. So this is the same thing as what I was doing before, just with a direct line, more precise. So like I could line up right here where I made that mark. And it knocks the flake off in a straight line, most of the time. We're just going to do this all the way around. Try to thin it more. You see here it's some really rough stuff, so it's going to be difficult to thin this, but we'll be able to do it. Getting a rough shape now. There we go. This is some interesting material. It's kind of glimmery. Does have limestone in it, all this. So we'll try to get rid of some of that. Pretty crummy. So I made this edge low here at the base, and I'm going to try to get rid of this bunch of limestone. So I'm going to grind down. I'll grind all edges just in case. So what I'm going to do is use a smaller bopper, smaller, and aim at that low point there on this ridge. See that bump? We'll see if we can get rid of that. I hold it real tight right on the line, and then I'm going to hit into the stone. Not straight down, but into the stone. Went right along that first line and thinned it. And that is limestone. We're going to need to do that on the other side as well. Alright, bug. So same thing, just grind it down, get to the low point. So it's straightening out now. I gotta be careful with this limestone stuff because it's usually pretty weak. But it looks like we're past the worst of it here. So I'm gonna switch back to my indirect. Go. Getting there. I think this is going to be a pretty point if it survives. Okay. Doing a pretty good job at thinning it. So this is the point where you want to be really careful, because you don't know how sturdy the rock actually is if it's gravel. So I'm going to hit right on this corner, not straight into the base, but at an angle. So I'll be hitting right into here in this direction. It's still a little thick. I'm going to take some off this side. That worked. All right. I have the biface now, preform. It's still a little thick there. Let me try to get some of that off. So it's thick here. I'm gonna hit this edge. All right, so this is about the size I would use on my arrows to make sure they are sturdy. Okay, I'm gonna say this is good enough. I'm gonna grab my deer hide. This deer hide here was actually a deer my uncle killed over 40 years ago. So this deer hide is older than me. All right. So now we're just gonna sharpen it and shape it by pressure flaking. Same process, just pushing flakes off. And just sharpening and thinning the edge, shaping the point. Keep shaping it. Just shaping the tip. This stuff is crumbling a little bit. It's not as sturdy as I would like because of the limestone in it. This stuff is interesting to me. It's the glossy, not glossy, but glimmery. I don't know if I could show it on camera. It's got little sparkles in it. It's black. strange. Actually just going to try to thin this just a little more. And what I'm going to do is grind the edge here, flip it over, and use the indirect. I'm going to push in, hit down. So. You can see the dust coming off of this. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. It causes something called silicosis. It's not too nice. Okay. You can see the pattern on there going straight across. This stuff is really hard to thin, but the point out of this material, hunting point, would have been that thick. Around here at least. So, we're just gonna finish sharpening it, put some notches in it, and then it's good to go. I mean, this came from something like that. Just a little piece of driveway gravel. I serrated this edge a little bit, makes it really sharp. So I'm just going to put some corner notches in here, small ones. This ear is a little off, so I'll fix that. Make the notches go just a little deeper. Yeah. That looks good. Put a little needle tip on it. Now you could put this on an arrow or a spear and hunt with it. See you guys soon.